Good morning. So good. Nice and hot. It's nice and humid out here today. I just buried a frog. Good morning. So I have gotten a lot of questions about relationships, and I'm going to tell you what I think is the key for relationships. People are asking it in all different ways and all different questions, but basically relationships, the relationship that you must begin with is your relationship with yourself. And what does that mean? That means that it's self-love, self-compassion, self-forgiveness. It means treating yourself the way you want to treat other people or the way you would treat other people. It's very hard sometimes to be kind to yourself. It's very hard to be self-loving all the time. It's just the human way of growing and learning. But self-loving and self-compassion, self-forgiveness, all the selves is the place to begin. Sometimes people say that they want somebody else because they feel lonely. I believe that when you start to really love yourself, you're not lonely. It changes to companionship. It changes to enhancement with another person. And I think it begins with self. Now, is that easy? No, it's not easy to focus on your good qualities, on those good feelings, because the other ones just pop up all the time. But what I really want to say is start now. Start to appreciate yourself. Start to care for yourself. It all begins with self-care. This morning, I have a good friend of mine, and she carries with her cuticle oil. And when her day is stressed or she wants to really take care of herself, she puts on cuticle oil and rubs it in. And that's her way of reminding herself about the little steps that you could take to self-care. I always say to people, what are the top 5 things that you love? If you come to my lecture, you'll know the answer. You'll be so smart. But I always say, what's the top 5 things that you love? And if you don't put yourself on the list, let's begin now. Today's the first day to put yourself on your list. One of the things that I do every day for self-care is I make this delicious coffee for myself. And if you have been watching me, you know that for a few days I didn't have creamer. That was because I wasn't on my own shopping list that day. Whatever it is that you need, it begins with self-awareness, and say to yourself, what do I need? If you go into the other part of the question or the other question of why do I need it, well, then we bring in judgment. So let's just stay in the question of what do I need and how can I give that to myself? That's the beginning of building a really, really great relationship. Have a really great weekend. Practice, practice, practice. Every time you're going off a little bit, give yourself a hug. Ask yourself, what do I want? And when you start building this relationship with other people, with yourself, you'll build relationships with other people. And I think that's the place to begin. I hope this helped all the people that instant messaged me about relationships, because I think that we can all do this. We can all begin with self-love, starting small. Have a really great day. I'll see you tomorrow.